livestock. And we've got a pretty decent day ahead of us, a bit breezy. We're watching that potential for strong to potentially severe storms overnight tonight. Details coming up. Plus,
the city of Mulberry just cleared the way for a $500 million solar project. And not everyone's celebrating. I'm Blake Gully. I'll have that story and what happens next in Crawford County coming up.
Our state's most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6 a.m. on this finally Friday, October the 17th. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Hopefully your Thursday was pretty good. Hopefully your Friday is fantastic. It's shaping up to be a pretty decent day. Again, if it was still September, it's not, but Mother Nature seems to be a bit confused. We're going to be warm again and a bit on the breezy side as well. We're also tracking that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms overnight tonight through the day on Saturday. Some changes for Saturday, and they're not good changes. We're going to go over all those details with you in just a few minutes, but first we got to get your Friday started, and we will do so with our traditional look outside from downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see things look pretty good. We are mostly cloudy this morning, and we'll be mostly cloudy through a good portion of the morning. Our camera 7th and Rangeline looks all right as well, as does the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin as folks get their Friday commute underway. So here's what we've got. This is, again, the day one outlook will carry us through about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, so that's where these threat levels go. Our tornado risk, we do not have any areas highlighted. That's good. With severe storms, the risk is never zero, but in this case, it is extremely low. The greater concern is with the level 1 out of 5 risk for the potential for some large hail and some damaging wind gusts with these storms as they push in really after about 2 o'clock in the morning. In between here and there, skies will actually clear a bit as we head into the afternoon. Will become mostly clear to partly cloudy. Future Track believes that maybe an isolated pop-up shower storm will be possible in southeast Kansas after 5. This is not associated with the main thunderstorm complex, and we are not expecting any of it to become strong or severe, but an isolated shower storm ahead of the main event tonight will be possible, again, mainly in our northern counties here into southeastern Kansas. Our temperatures this morning, of course, still well above average. We've got Jay is the cool spot right now, sitting at 59 degrees, and then the rest of us, for the most part, low to mid 60s as we get this day started. And bear in mind, our average low is about 47, 48 degrees. So obviously well off of that. Kids heading to school today, we're looking at mostly cloudy, heading out the door, 65, 79, mostly cloudy by lunch and recess, at least for some. Others may already be clearing at that point. And we're looking pretty good as they head home, about 82. In terms of our daytime, we're looking near 70 by 9, near 80 by noon. I will go low to mid 80s out there for our highs. Again, an isolated shower storm possible later this evening, but nothing strong or severe expected with that. And our south winds will be gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour, so a bit of a breezy day out there. You know, my dad used to tell me when I was a kid, on a really windy, warm day like this, he's like, oh, you can tell the wind's blowing something in, and that's exactly what it's doing. Now, again, it's not a major severe weather outbreak, but we are expecting that potential, and we're going to, for strong to severe storms, we're going to go over those details for you here in just a few more minutes. In this morning's top stories, a solar farm estimated at a $500 million could soon be coming to southeast Kansas, but not everyone is happy about it. The Mulberry City Council voted this week to annex more than 1,600 acres of county land. Now, if it gets county approval, the annexation could pave the way for a $500 million solar project from Shasta Power. The development could bring new jobs and tax revenue to the city, money some local leaders say is crucial for upgrades like the community's aging water plant.
I know we need some very significant improvements to our water plant, and just as an example, that will help with that. And you know, it takes a lot of money to run a small town, and I grew up here. I moved back here to retire, and so I really want to see us do well. I want to see us survive, because I have a lot of emotional attachment to Mulberry, as I do the entire area.
Now, if the Crawford County Commission will make the final decision on whether to approve the land annexation, now if passed, The construction on the solar project could begin next year, bringing new tax revenue to Mulberry. But one neighboring property owner tells us he's concerned about the potential impact it could have on wildlife and on his own view. He's also unhappy about what he calls a lack of transparency regarding the project. And at the Joplin Regional Stockyards, FFA students are getting hands-on experience in agriculture thanks to a growing program supported by Mid-Missouri Bank. The program connects young people directly to the roots of their communities, from learning how calves are raised to understanding the entire food process. The idea is to help shape the next generation of agricultural leaders and keeping Missouri's farming legacy alive.
There's all different kinds of learners in the world. There's people who can do really good at reading things, and there's some people who like to use their hands and have a hands-on experience. Most people don't realize that agriculture touches every aspect of our community. There's a place in agriculture for everyone. So to be able to have students come out and experience different stations where they can not only see but touch, hear, and get a full immersed experience.
The Agricultural Youth Education Program started in Lebanon, Missouri, and has now expanded across the state, reaching more than 500 students from 18 schools. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. Players also available on our news and weather apps, as well as our website. You can stream live anytime, anywhere, absolutely free. Just get the KOAM Plus streaming app. And young local artists have been busy decorating some windows in Pittsburgh for the holiday season. The city's annual Halloween window painting contest is underway. Kids 5 to 12 have transformed business windows in downtown and all over Broadway with Halloween works of art. For some artists, the choice of what to paint was a tough one. And with the Halloween just around the corner, Pittsburgh State International students are getting a fun introduction to the American tradition of pumpkin carving. KOAM's Kenny Foreman takes us to Gorilla Village for this year's Pit Pals Fiesta.
With spooky season right around the corner, PSU International students get a taste of a popular American tradition, pumpkin carving.
It's their first time, so it's definitely an experience. It's gross, it's fun, it's a mess, to say the least, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely glad we're out doing it today.
The event featured plenty of food and snacks, allowing Pit Pals, American students who are paired with international students, to connect with each other even more.
Asking lots of questions to each other has been really cool. I think one of the biggest things is just like figuring out how to word different phrases. So if there's something I'm used to saying a lot, trying to figure out, and it's like unusual, trying to figure out a way to explain it so that she can use it as well, and vice versa, her teaching me different phrases.
The program is designed so that events such as this one can help foster meaningful connections that can last even beyond the campus.
We hung out so much, and she invited me to her family, and I really liked it because I really like her family, and they're really welcoming for me.
It helps when many of the domestic students are eager to make the international students feel right at home.
Doesn't matter their background, doesn't matter their race, doesn't matter their culture. I connect with so many people on so many different levels just because I'm such a people person and I want to be friends with as many people as I can.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Now, the Pit Pals program is open to all PSU students and pairs one domestic student with an international student for an entire semester. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Still to come on the KOAM Morning News.
The shutdown standoff continues after key votes to fund the government repeatedly fail. I'm Erica Brown with more on the deadlock and the layoffs put on pause.
Plus, doctors discover mammograms can spot deadly heart disease before it strikes. And we've got that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late tonight into Saturday. We're going to complete look at your weekend forecast when we come back. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now 6:09. Republicans rolled out a new tactic to try, at the very least, to fund parts of the government during the shutdown. It's the first new spending measure to come to the floor since the shutdown began 16 days ago. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
The Senate took a procedural vote on a bill that would fund the Pentagon and pay U.S. service members during the shutdown, but failed to get the votes needed to move forward with the legislation.
The motion is not agreed to.
Earlier Thursday, lawmakers tried for a 10th time to advance a Republican short-term spending bill to end the shutdown.
It would take just a handful of Democrats to reopen the government.
Senate Republicans continue to do the same exact thing and expect different results. That's the classic definition of legislative insanity.
Democrats insist any deal must include an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, but say Republicans are refusing to negotiate.
Leader Thune has not come to me with any proposal at this point.
Republicans say reopening the government should come first.
We're not conducting negotiations in a hostage situation.
Now, President Trump has said he plans to use the shutdown to slash the size of government by firing thousands of government workers. But a legal challenge from employee unions has put those plans on hold. Federal Judge Susan Ilston issued a temporary restraining order Wednesday, writing, "It is also far from normal for an administration to fire line-level civilian employees during a government shutdown as a way to punish the opposing political party. But this is precisely what President Trump has announced he is doing."
This is another far-left partisan judge who was smacked down by the Supreme Court in July for ruling on this exact same thing.
Unions representing federal workers who filed suit called the layoff plans unprecedented and unlawful. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Now, Judge Ilston has given the government until 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight to report the actual number of layoffs carried out so far, as well as how many more are imminent. She has set the next hearing on the matter for October the 28th. Well, still to come in this week's Doing Good, see how Rafa International breaks cycles of trauma and fights child trafficking one community at a time. And we've got that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms overnight tonight into Saturday. We're going to break down those details for you when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 6:14. We'll be right back. In this week's Doing Good segment, we're putting the focus on a local organization working to break the cycle of child trafficking. Rafa International started more than 20 years ago after founder Stephanie Freed visited Southeast Asia. And as KOAM's Ty Park shows us, the organization continues that mission in Jasper County.
So the work that we do here, it really does breaks the generational cycle of trauma and abuse by shining a light on the trauma that has happened, giving the person experiencing this counseling and this help the opportunity to walk through what they've experienced and understand what's happened to them and separate what's happened to them from who they are.
Rafa International is committed to combating and ending the trafficking and sexual abuse of children, one child, one community at a time.
But we also provide prevention services where we go into the most bracingly poor and vulnerable communities, and we provide education. We help them with whatever kind of vulnerabilities they may struggle with, whether it be housing or food insecurity, or if they are just unaware of their own trauma that they've experienced. And so we provide those prevention care services so that these children never enter into trafficking to begin with.
It's not only a battle to prevent, but also a journey of recovery for victims. That's why the organization also offers various forms of scientifically supported therapy options.
To help each child or each person, because we see all ages, each person walking through our doors is able to find some relief and some help and some support as they walk through whatever traumas they've experienced.
Rafa also provides training programs for professionals who work with trafficking cases.
And we work with other therapists in the area as well. I mean, there's a plethora of training that's available to people, whether it be law enforcement training, whether it be trainings for those who are working in the probation and parole office.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Rafa International recently moved into the building on 20th Street to help expand its mental and behavioral services. Certainly doing very good out there for folks. And we've got a pretty decent day ahead of us. Skies will begin to clear. We're warm, we're breezy, and we've got that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late tonight through the day on Saturday. We're going to break down details on those storm chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:19. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 622 on this Friday morning, we have our chances for strong to severe thunderstorms tonight through tomorrow. So we're going to break down what we're looking at. So this day one outlook for today really truly carries us through about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's why today, yeah, you're going to see this risk, but we're not expecting anything until like after 2 a.m. So you'll see it, but like I said, this carries us through 7 a.m. All right, no tornado risk areas highlighted through that time period, which is good. As again, with severe weather, the tornado risk is never truly zero, but it can be extremely low. But that's good news there. And again, this isn't a severe weather outbreak. This is a level 1 out of 5 risk for the potential for large hail and damaging wind gusts. Again, really building in after 2 o'clock in the morning. So here's what we've got. Today, we are starting mostly cloudy. Will gradually begin to clear out and then go mostly clear to partly cloudy through the afternoon and evening, and will be a bit breezy, and of course will still be warm. We also have the isolated chance of a pop-up shower or storm in the northern portions of southeast Kansas this evening. Nothing strong or severe expected with that. That chance is very low as well. We may not get that activity, but it is showing up. It's a remote possibility. Then we get to 2 a.m. Now initially it doesn't look too impressive, just a couple of showers, thunderstorms out there, but even those little showers and storms, so up near Yates Center, back around Independence, could become strong to severe. And all of this quickly grows upscale into a complex of showers and storms. So here we are tracking into 4 a.m. Saturday morning. So we've got Fredonia, Chanute, Iola, Parsons, Independence, Coffeyville, Bartlesville, just south of Yates Center. These thunderstorms could be strong to low-grade severe with that large hail and damaging wind risk. These storms continue to push off to the east. So by 6 a.m., Stockton, Monette, Mount Vernon, Anderson, Neosho, and then we get new storms developing right behind them at 6 a.m. as well, and these could also become strong to severe pretty quickly. So there's a couple of different thinking on the timing of this line of storms. That's why you're seeing two groups here, but by parade time in Carthage, we are looking at that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms out there, and this will continue through the day. So yesterday, we were looking at the data. It looked as though by the time we got to about 11 noon, we would actually clear out for a bit. Unfortunately, some changes not in our favor, as strong to severe thunderstorms. We're just moving 1 hour forward through the parade and into the morning. So we're talking everyone needs to be weather aware. We again are putting that emphasis on Maple Leaf simply because with the parade, we're talking 40, 50,000 people outside during what could be a severe weather event. Not an outbreak, just an event where you don't want to be outside. But Miami, Veneta, Bartlesville, Newata, strong to severe thunderstorms. This continues as it tracks to the east. So Monette, Mount Vernon, Neosho, Anderson, still some strong storms even back toward Cherokee County, Veneta. And then another round will quickly lift north and push into the area by 3, bringing another round of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms. And this continues through the evening until that cold front begins to slide through and push it on out of here for us. So that's what we've got to watch. Now tomorrow our severe risk is a little higher in the eastern portion. We do have an isolated tornado risk for parts of the area, but again the greater concerns are with large hail and damaging wind gusts, where some of us are in that level 2 out of 5 risk. So you've got to stay weather aware. Make sure you've got the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Make sure you've got a safe place to go tomorrow as well, just in case we do get some strong to severe thunderstorms in your area. Otherwise, today, mostly cloudy through the morning, mid-60s to start, mid-70s by 11 a.m. Our highs, low mid-80s, gusty south winds today and tomorrow, 80, and then that cold front, look at that, seasonable weather. Mid to upper 40s Saturday night, upper 60s on Sunday. Let's check your forecast in Health Watch this morning. People who receive lots of support from their family, friends, and colleagues get a boost to their physical health as well as their mental health. A study of people from more than 30 countries found those who feel strong social support even perform better at work and do better in school. It's part of the growing evidence showing a social support network is crucial for overall health. And what causes an ex-smoker to relapse? Well, Australian researchers have found it's often not a strong urge to smoke. Instead, many former smokers who start smoking again say they're simply exhausted of the constant effort needed to avoid smoking. It's called psychological cessation fatigue, and the study found 64% of people who experience it relapse and start smoking again. And ER doctors are reporting an alarming rise in eye injuries, and the cause is pickleball. A study published in JAMA found an increase of more than 400 pickleball-related eye injuries between 2021 and 2024, including detached retinas and orbital fractures. The study recommends standards for eye protection to be introduced to the game. And during this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we've been hearing about the importance of getting mammograms to detect breast cancer early. But did you know the imaging can also... I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I tried not to do that. But back to this story. Did you know that the imaging can also show hidden signs of heart disease? Well, Michael George has one woman's story.
Nancy Preston says a mammogram saved her life, but not because it picked up breast cancer. It showed the 66-year-old yoga instructor had signs of heart disease.
It was just a time bomb. Could have happened at any time.
She's taking part in a study at Mount Sinai informing women about breast arterial calcification, or BAC.
It's these little white dots that follow in this line,
which can be seen on a mammogram and is a marker for cardiovascular disease risk.
Blood vessels that supply the breasts can get calcified, the same way that blood vessels that are in your heart or that take blood up to your brain can get calcified and cause disease.
Dr. Lori Margulies is leading the research.
That turns out in Nancy's case to be incredibly significant.
Nancy was notified she had BAC. It was recommended she see cardiologist Dr. Marianne McLaughlin. Despite managing high blood pressure and cholesterol very well, her stress test showed changes consistent with blocked arteries.
Miss Preston was in very good health, so I really wasn't entirely sure I would find something.
You need open heart surgery. I was in such shock.
About 12% of patients in the trial show BAC. The goal, to make BAC reporting a standard part of mammography nationwide.
Every woman should be getting their mammogram and also asking whether they have vascular calcifications in their breast.
If a radiologist puts in the report that there's breast arterial calcification, I would want every gynecologist, every primary care doctor to then tell the patient, let's check it out.
Nancy needed quintuple bypass surgery.
A no-brainer that this should be information shared. I'm so glad that I was made aware of this.
She's now in cardiac rehab and back to practicing some light yoga. Michael George, CBS News.
Right now, the radiologist notices BAC on the mammogram and reports it. Doctors expect in coming years, artificial intelligence will identify the calcifications and automatically put it in the report. Let's look at our top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a powerful lesson about poverty unfolds at the Joplin Public Library. And we are tracking that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late tonight into Saturday. We'll have the latest coming up. And Pope Leo calls global hunger a moral failure, as 673 million people don't eat enough every day.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:32 on this finally Friday, however you say it. Friday is typically a pretty good day to celebrate for most of us. You may recall, I worked weekends. I was the weekend news anchor here for a while, so I get it. Not everybody gets to celebrate Friday, your Friday, but you also get to celebrate like on a Tuesday or Wednesday and be like, all right, well, everybody's like, great, it's Tuesday. So anyway, hopefully your Friday's fantastic. It's going to be a pretty decent day, a bit warm, a bit breezy out there, but otherwise not too bad. We are tracking that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms really after 2 a.m. Tonight, tomorrow morning, however it may work in your schedule, and then more strong to severe thunderstorms possible on Saturday. We're going to go over those details with you in just a moment, but first, let's get your Friday started. And this is a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, and we are mostly cloudy this morning. We are mostly cloudy at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin, and mostly cloudy from the Modoc camera at 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Plenty of folks starting to get their day underway on this finally Friday. So let's break down what we're looking at. So remember, with the day one outlook, the way it works with the Weather Service is this day one carries us through about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's why if you go and you check the Storm Prediction Center site, you're going to see we have a severe threat highlighted for today. but we're not expecting anything during the day. It's going to be late tonight. And like I said, this will carry us through tomorrow morning. All right, so first, our tornado risk, very low. No areas highlighted, but remember, with severe thunderstorms, that risk is never zero. But given the environment and atmospheric conditions and stuff, that risk can be extremely low, and that's the case here. But we do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for the potential for some large hail and damaging wind gusts. Like I said, this isn't a severe weather outbreak by any means. It's just heading into what is a very busy weekend for many folks. It's just bad timing for severe weather is the problem that we're facing here. All right, for today though, we're dry. Skies begin to clear. We're mostly clear to partly cloudy by this afternoon. Could get an isolated pop-up shower storm later this evening into our northern counties and southeast Kansas. That chance also very low, and even if we do see something, we're not expecting anything strong or severe with that activity. Our temperatures this morning quite mild once again, low mid 60s. Jay, you were a little cooler earlier at about 58, but you're starting to warm up as well as we get this Friday underway. So kids heading out the door, mostly cloudy, about 65, 79, mostly cloudy for lunch and recess, 82, and some clearing skies as they head home later today. We'll be near 70 by 9, near 80 by noon. Our highs today into the low to mid 80s with those south winds again, occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. I said this earlier, you know, my dad always told me on days like this, if it's warm and windy, he's like, oh, you can feel it, the wind's blowing something in. And in our case, it is blowing in something in. It's blowing in our storm chances. We'll break down those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. In our top stories this morning, an organization in Joplin is putting poverty into perspective. They invited Joplin Council members, educators, healthcare workers, and others to take in a month's worth of experience in one day. KOM's Mitch Adams has more.
One Joplin organized a poverty simulator for community members at Joplin Public Library. The simulator puts people in the shoes of someone struggling with poverty through different life stages.
But they take on really what their real life situation is and live through a month of simulation.
Participants were given a character in a wide age range and does their best to survive week to week with whatever resources they have.
To go to work, they have to find childcare, they have to pay their utility bill, they have to pay rent, all of that within limited resources. And so they go through the process of making decisions and figuring out where they can cut.
The purpose of the event is to better understand what life is like for community members who are struggling and make changes based on the experience.
We've had some great experiences of this, of individuals that have had really big reactions to it, to people, yelling and screaming out of frustration, people in tears. It really does bring real emotions out in people through this simulation.
Reporting in Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Two notable participants this year included Joplin's mayor and mayor pro tem. And yesterday, Freeman Health System held a ceremony celebrating the ongoing construction of a $14 million oncology services expansion in Pittsburgh. The existing 4,500 square foot building will receive a new 12,000 square foot addition, greatly expanding the various rooms for the oncology department, offering more chemotherapy chairs and radiation services. Specialists say this growth is necessary for patients, many of whom were having to go to Joplin or further for treatment.
The truth is, for some of our citizens here in the southeast Kansas area, Joplin is a long commute too. And this is going to eliminate that problem. And I expect outcomes are going to go up, more lives are going to be saved, and this community is going to benefit.
The expansion is anticipated to be completed and ready by late 2026. Well, Pope Leo is urging world leaders to do more to stop global hunger, calling it a moral failure to let millions go without food. The American-born pontiff spoke at a ceremony in Rome, citing new UN figures showing around 673 million people do not eat enough every day. He blamed a soulless economy and called on people to rethink their lifestyles and priorities.
Poverty has become the daily bread of so many of our brothers and sisters. The international community cannot look the other way.
The Pope's message comes as UN food aid agencies face severe funding cuts from top donors, threatening critical support in crisis zones around the world. Before becoming Pope, Leo spent much of his career as a missionary in Peru, caring for the poor. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. Stick with us. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker here with his big 3 stories of the week. Shannon, always a great pleasure to see you.
Live and local, that's what we do.
That is what we do. And of course, you and I have a long-standing history, so it's always great to see
Yes,
you. And
of
we'll
course.
get to your big 3 stories of the week. And I'm going to get our teleprompter taken care of for you, but
All right,
you
you
go
do
ahead
that.
and start.
All right.
I'm sure you know what we start with.
Yes. 3, I think, yeah. Big 3 stories. Number 3 this week, KOAM News Now. I'm Shannon Becker. This happened yesterday. About 10:30 in the morning, a tractor trailer overturned near Golden City, blocking State Highway K. This hours-long cleanup. These are batteries that spilled out of the tractor trailer, mostly for diesel, like tractors, like a John Deere tractor, or bigger diesel motors, maybe an F-350 or something like that. Driver, amazingly, was not injured. Little inattentive driving. Of course, was ticketed for that. Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now. It happened earlier this week on early Monday morning. Granby, a house fire, smoke and flames from a residence. They say it started in the kitchen. They're still investigating what occurred. It was a lot of lightning at the time as well, but that was the first report that there was fire in the kitchen. The home completely destroyed, roof collapsed. Tragedy for that family. I know there is a fundraiser right now online as well. Our number 1 story, it happened last Friday late in the afternoon. A helicopter landed in McDonald County just to the west of Goodman after a 3-vehicle head-on collision. One car crossed the center line and struck this pickup truck and another little white car. Now, that first car that started the collision, it was a Goodman man. He almost landed in a creek there off the side of the road. He was trapped for about 45 minutes before they could extricate him. He did suffer serious injuries, but he will recover from that crash. Be more vigilant in your driving, obviously. And then our bonus story, hey, it's a maple leaf. That's right. It might rain a little bit, but you've got umbrellas. You can do this. So tonight, it's the big Friday night tradition they've started. The band that's going to play from Springfield, members only. It's a lot of fun. Vision Carthage have a setup for families to take pictures in the light tunnel this year, which is really cool. You'll be able to do that all weekend. And then tomorrow, 9 a.m., it is the Maple Leaf. We'll be there. This is from last year. Look at those anchors, whoever they are, It'll be a huge parade. They're expecting about 80,000 people to be there. Like I said, it starts at 9, and then everything else starts. There's a car show. There's vendors on the square after the parade. So don't miss it. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be there too. The Maple Leaf Festival in Carthage.
Yeah, a lot of fun out there, and of course, as you mentioned, we got those storm chances. I know Julie Ream says she's been monitoring it very closely because and Shannon, you're just a wee bit older than I am.
A wee.
And I'm trying to think back. I don't recall too often having a severe threat on maple leaf. We've had rainy maple leaves before, where it's cool, it's rainy, but everything goes on. But I feel like severe weather for maple leaf is a bit of a rarity.
I'm just glad it's not cold. I don't like the cold.
See, I'm with you there. I'm glad you're with me there. I don't like the cold all that much either. I mean, I know it takes care of allergies and bugs, which is good, but it doesn't take care of me.
That's
And
That's right.
that's where we are. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we will be back with birthdays and anniversaries and another look at your forecast right after this. All right, time for some Friday birthdays and anniversaries in the 4 states, and we are going to begin with Jasper and Jagger celebrating birthday number 2. A very happy birthday to those twins there. And we also have Blaine Martin celebrating birthday number 5. A very happy birthday to you as well. And we have Samuel King celebrating birthday number 12 today. Happy birthday, Samuel. And Avery Perkins celebrating birthday number 15. A very happy birthday to you. And we also have Brett Thornton celebrating number 35. A very happy birthday. Andrew Lance celebrating birthday number 40 today. Sharon Birch celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Sharon. We also have Dennis and Beverly Davis celebrating their 10th anniversary. Very happy anniversary to the Davises. And Bill and Cheryl Harvey celebrating their 45th anniversary as well. A very happy anniversary there. Bob and Sandra Dietz celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. And we, of course, want to remind folks, to submit your birthdays, of course, to that email address, birthdays@koamnewsnow.com, and make sure you meet that deadline at the bottom of your screen. Okay, so we're going to be perfectly honest with you. We may not have had necessarily all... okay, so I apologize. So it's obviously a little hectic sometimes. We're going through transition. So I've got, I apologize. I have our list of birthdays and anniversaries for Monday. So that's why I was kind of stumbling through that. But we got there. We got those birthdays and anniversaries. We do love celebrating them with you. We really, truly do. And so make sure that you submit them to that email address that you see on your screen. And, of course, that's birthdays with an S at koamnewsnow.com. And as I mentioned, make sure you meet the deadline that you see on the bottom of your screen as well. So now we've got some weather to talk about. And we do have that chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms late tonight, heading into tomorrow. So that's what we're going to start with right now is our severe weather outlook. Now this is, again, day one, but day one will also carry us through about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So as of right now, we do not have a tornado risk highlighted, which is good, but with severe thunderstorms, that risk is never zero, but given atmospheric conditions and everything else, all the variables, it can be extremely low, and so that's why we don't have any areas highlighted. And we do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for some large hail and damaging wind gusts out there. So that's something we want to keep an eye on. And as we've mentioned, this isn't expected to be an outbreak of severe weather by any means. It's just the timing on all of this, with everything going on this weekend, is just really poor, unfortunately. All right, for today, though, that's it. We're mostly cloudy to start. Skies will clear a bit, going mostly clear to partly cloudy through the afternoon. Isolated pop-up shower or storm possible as we head into the evening hours, but nothing strong, nothing severe expected with that. And again, that chance is pretty low. May not really see much of anything, but it's a small chance that's there. It's going to be about 2 a.m. We start initially with a couple of isolated shower storms near Yates Center, Independence. These could begin to become strong to low-grade severe as we head early tomorrow morning. Then we get this complex. So Chanute, Iola, Parsons, Fredonia, just south of Yates Center, stretching back toward Coffeyville, Bartlesville. Strong to potentially severe thunderstorms begin pushing into the area. Now that complex lifts to pushes east. So now Stockton, Mount Vernon, around Monette, Neosho, Anderson, strong, potentially severe storms by 6 a.m. Then we're watching a line of storms that's expected to develop. And unfortunately, its location and timing are very bad. The Maple Leaf Parade set to get underway tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we are looking at this line of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms right over the Carthage area, stretching back, of course, toward Joplin, pushing back northeast around Mount Vernon, following I-44 into northeast Oklahoma, so Miami, down to Veneta, had some stronger storms into parts of Nowata and Washington counties as well. So that's why, again, you just need to be very weather aware. If you're heading to the parade, make sure you've got a safe place to go. Remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. Don't stay outside with this. Julie Reams did say that if there's lightning or severe weather, that they'll postpone the parade. So you'll want to pay very close attention to that. For vendors on the square, make sure you've got a safe place to go. And for anybody out there, you've got to stay weather aware tomorrow. Like I said, it's not a severe weather outbreak, but it is a bit of an unusual time for severe weather. By noon, thunderstorm activity, strong, potentially severe, south of I-44, really into southwestern Missouri. Some strong storms possible behind that. And then another round lifts north into the area by the afternoon. These storms could be strong to low-grade severe as well. And these will continue to kind of just hover over us with that strong to potentially severe thunderstorm threat until the evening when that cold front finally gets in here and kicks them on out of here. So here's our severe threat heading into tomorrow after 7 a.m. We do have an isolated tornado risk, which does include the area, does include Carthage. And so we want to keep a close eye on that. It's low, but it is there. It's not zero, unfortunately. And then we have that hail risk. It's a level 1 and level 2 out of 5 risk for large hail and damaging wind gusts. So, of course, those are going to be the primary concern, but an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So we've really got to be weather aware tomorrow across the area, just paying very close attention and making sure you got a place to go to get out of those storms if we get those in your area. For this morning, mostly cloudy, mid-60s by 8, mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Well, coming up, when the KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14, we've got KOAM's Ty Parks in this week's Doing Good. He's going to show us how Rafa International is breaking cycles of trauma and fighting child trafficking one community at a time. This is your Wake Up Recap for October 17th. Your top stories to start your day. A $500 million solar farm could soon be built in southeast Kansas. The Mulberry City Council voted to annex more than 1,600 acres for the project, but it still needs county approval. Supporters say the Shasta Power development would bring much-needed jobs and tax revenue to the areas. Others have concerns, and that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap. And for today, we are looking at skies gradually clearing, becoming mostly clear to partly cloudy this afternoon. Low mid-80s, breezy, south winds gusting to 25. An isolated shower storm in our northern counties in southeast Kansas possible this evening. That chance very low, but could see something. Nothing strong or severe expected with that activity by any means. Then overnight after 2 a.m., thunderstorms increase. Those could be strong to severe with large hail and damaging winds as the primary concerns. Mid-60s, non-thunderstorm winds gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Breezy again tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. Some of those could be strong to severe with all hazards possible, but the greatest concern is going to be the potential for some large hail and damaging wind gusts with that. The cold front, though, take a look at what it does. For at least a moment, it'll be fall. Upper 40s Saturday night and upper 60s Sunday. Warming up next week with a few more rain chances out there. And coming up today at noon, we're making double stuffed potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Neil deGrasse Tyson will be live in the studio to talk about his new book, where he answers people's questions about space, time, and why things happen on Earth. Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, Shannon Becker back in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. And President Trump says he makes great progress in a phone call with Vladimir Putin to end the Ukrainian war. We'll have that and more at 7. That's going to do it for now. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 and again today at noon.